I don't know if you guys can tell how big this cupcake is, but like, it's like the size of my face and the weight of a small toddler. You guys should see my floor over there right now. In fact, I'll put in a little insert shot of what my floor looks like. The Safeway nearest to us was closing, and so they were having half off everything, and so then I bought everything, at least everything bacon related, because I go through so much Candy Quick, and honestly it looks like I could open up a Candy Quick store right now because there's just a little bit of Candy Quick right now. Hey guys, it's Rachel, and today we are making a giant Hello Kitty cupcake. I love how this came out. I think it's perfect if you're having some kind of party, and this way you don't have to decorate like 20 cupcakes. You just decorate one big cupcake and you're all good to go. And in fact, my graduation party is coming up this Saturday, so I might just be serving up this Hello Kitty. He's looking, oh, his ear is falling backwards. Stay. Come on. Just like that. Who says you can't train a cat? But anyways though, this is so cute, and the chocolate cake recipe is my favorite one. It comes at us from Ina Garden, and you know if Ina makes it, it's gonna be delicious, and it definitely is. It's my favorite chocolate cake recipe, and there is a special ingredient in it that you'll hear about very soon. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so because I post 2 new videos every week. And without further ado, let's get started. First off, in a large bowl, you'll want 1 3/4 cups of flour. And I really recommend doing this in a bowl with a spout, and you'll see why in just a little bit. You also want to add in 2 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of cocoa powder, and Ina also says to use good quality cocoa powder, so hope you guys brought your wallets. You also want to add in 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then just go ahead and give that all a whisk. Very nice. Once it gets nice and combined, go ahead and set that aside. Then in a separate bowl, let's work on our wet ingredients. You'll need 1 cup of buttermilk, and if you don't have buttermilk, and I mean like who really has buttermilk sitting around, you can just combine a tablespoon of vinegar with a cup of regular milk. You also want to add in a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, 3 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then go ahead and grab your whisk again and mix this all up. Once that is all nice and combined, set it aside for like 2 seconds right now. Then grab your dry ingredients and go ahead and pour your wet ingredients right on in. Oh, and also make sure you mix your wet ingredients in a bowl with a spout, that way you can pour it in much easier. And now you can see, just give this all a mix. This recipe is really nice because it is so good and you don't need any kind of electric mixer or anything. Now add in a cup of hot coffee. No, this was not some kind of mistake or like me trying to get my coffee into my cake too, but it actually really enriches the chocolate flavor in the cake. Oh, you can see my reflection. And then it makes it really moist too. And I probably shouldn't say the word moist on the internet, but anyways, it just makes it really good. So add it in. Your cake batter is gonna be pretty thin, but don't worry, that's totally normal, and it makes for a very nice and light and fluffy cake. Now you're gonna grab your giant silicone cupcake pan, and we're just going to fill this up. And here you can see is why you use the bowl with the spout. If you do this in a round bowl, you're gonna spill cake batter all over the place, so save yourself some paper towels and just mix this in a spouted bowl. Then bake these off at 350 for about 45 to 50 minutes. When these first came out of the oven, I was like, this looks perfect, and then I turned this around when I was looking at them in the oven, and I was like, oh, how did that even happen? Like, how does it spill over the edge when the pan's not even I don't know. I just ate it and it was fine. Don't you love how in baking you can just eat your mistakes? Anyway, so speaking of eating more cake, we're just gonna trim off the top of the cupcake. This is gonna give you some really nice scraps to snack on, and as an added bonus, your cake is level. Alright, go ahead and flip it out onto your cooling rack, and you can see it pops right out because we used a silicone mold today. Then repeat this for your cupcake bottom as well. And then before you release it, you want to kind of pull out the sides of the pan just to create an air pocket between the cake and the pan, making sure that everything is released. Then just pull this right off, and presto, you have one perfect chocolate cake. To make it even more perfect though, we're just going to level off the top. Serve that to your family, eat it, whatever you want to do. And then we can get to assembling. Make sure your cakes are completely cooled at this point, and then I'm going to pipe on some buttercream frosting. And I'll have the recipe for this frosting in the description box below, but I'm just gonna go ahead and spread it out. You'll notice that it's gonna pull up a lot of crumbs. That's totally fine, it just means your cake is super moist and delicious, so don't even worry about it, it's just the middle anyways. Next up, pop on your cupcake top. And I know the cake looks completely burnt right now, but I promise you guys, it's just the kind of cocoa powder that I use, and also just the lighting in this shot makes it look super dark, but I promise you guys I did not set my cake on fire. Next up, you can see I've just added on a little crumb coat to make sure the sides are all even. I definitely didn't do this because I didn't like my roses the first time. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen. Anyways though, now you're just gonna grab your piping bag and just go ahead and pipe out the roses. These are just little swirls, they're super easy to do. My advice though is to not make these too big. If you make them too big, you're gonna end up with a lot of gaps between your roses, which you don't want. And just continue until you've filled in all of these spots. Very classy at this point. Now we're gonna make it less classy by turning it into Hello Kitty. Here I just have some white fondant, and I'm just going to shape it into some triangles for the ears. So go ahead and press it, squeeze it, bop it, lock it, whatever you have to do to make it smooth. And repeat for both ears. Set those aside, and now let's work on the bow. You're gonna need some red fondant for this. That little circle is for the center of the bow. And then I'm going to form the two sides. These are just triangles, kind of, but rounded. I don't know. They're just kind of bow shapes. Once you're happy with those, go ahead and put the ends together. And then I also added on some more red fondant to create that kind of inner bow shape. So press those on, and then put it all together. Cute! Set that aside. Now let's make the eyes. These are really easy, they're just ovals. And by the way, that's powdered sugar on my work surface, just to make sure nothing sticks. Although for the black pieces, I kind of formed these in my hands or on the marble because the powdered sugar is really going to show up on any kind of black pieces. So now I'm just rolling out the whiskers, only 6 of these. The whiskers I rolled out here were actually too long, so make them a little shorter than that. Next up, make the nose out of yellow fondant. Just a little baby oval. And then this is optional, but I also pressed on some white dots in the eyes. This isn't actually on Hello Kitty, but I think it looks really cute, and it doesn't like detract from it looking like Hello Kitty or anything. And I'll just add in all of your decorations. First up, I'm going to pop in the ears, then press on that bow. Make sure it's nice and secured in there. Now add on the nose first to make sure you know where the center is, and then pop on the eyes. Press these on lightly at first, and then when you're happy with the placement, go ahead and push them in. Then just finish it off with the whiskers. And that's it. Alright guys, our giant Hello Kitty chocolate cupcake is finished now, and I just love how this looks. It's just so cute, and it smells really good too. Whenever I bake something in my basement, it always smells really good because there is little to no ventilation down here. So whenever I bake something, it just like makes the whole room smell like chocolate cupcakes. A little bit of a, pro and con situation because if I burn something, we're just gonna have to clear out for a week. But anyways though, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe right up there if you haven't already. I post 2 new videos every week. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at kawaiisweetworld. And you can also check out my website at kawaiisweetworld.com for the full recipe. And finally, leave any video requests you have down in the comments below. I'm currently on a gap year, so I've got a little bit more free time on my hands to work on your guys' requests. And I think that's it. Hope you're all having a great back to school season, and I'll talk to y'all very soon. Bye guys. Guys, I got all glammed up for y'all today. I have eyeshadow on, which is a whole new process. I even put on fake eyelashes. Can you see? Well, you know that you can see them because if I wasn't wearing them, I would have no eyelashes.